Welcome to my Servsafe Manager Certification course, Key Point Speech. Foodborne illnesses cost the United States billions of dollars every year. I'm going to talk about 3 ways that you can keep your organization safe. These main points are food safety, purchasing, receiving, and storing food, and cleaning and sanitizing. You can become a more valuable asset to your team if you work in the food industry if you know these 3 skills. And if you're not in the food industry, knowing these skills are still cool facts if you're cooking at home or if you're out to eat at restaurants and you want to know what to be looking for that are good signs. As a matter of fact, foodborne illnesses can cost single operations thousands of dollars every year as well. So one way that we can eliminate foodborne illnesses and keep food environments safe is by providing safe food. What is a foodborne illness? A foodborne illness is a disease transmitted to people by food. Time, language, culture, and turnover, literacy and education, pathogens, and unapproved suppliers are all challenges to food safety. How does food become unsafe? Well, if you purchase food from an unsafe source is one way, and failing to cook food correctly, failing to hold food at correct temperatures, or using contaminated equipment and practicing poor hygiene are all ways food can become unsafe. So you need to make sure to wash your hands every time before you're going to cook something or handle food. Another way to keep safe food is to train and monitor your employees. As a food manager, we must create necessary procedures and then train our staff on how to follow these consistently. It's important to document when employees are done their training so we can stay on top of keeping a safe culture. Now, another way that we can monitor food is with the FDA. So the FDA can inspect all food except meat, poultry, and eggs. And the FDA also issues food codes. This is science-based and provides recommendations on safe handling of food. There's been instances in history when mislabeling food has caused illnesses, like unlabeled chemicals have been for foods such as flour or baking soda or sugar. Or customers have also suffered from allergic reactions when an employee wasn't putting allergen labels on for instance a tote of eggs or some sort of seafood. So not only can we practice food safety, but also we can think about ways how to flow food into our organization from purchasing, receiving, and storage. One can't make unsafe food safe, so only bringing in safe food to our operation is a way to make this possible. We want to work with only reputable suppliers, so these suppliers have been inspected and can show inspection reports. And we want to make sure these suppliers meet state, local, and federal laws. Receiving, so we want to make sure that enough staff is trained so we can take our time when receiving products in our facility. One good step is to make sure that all orders that come into our restaurant have a purchase order. We want to make sure that we have thermostats on in different trailers. So we also want to check. We also, after we bring in our food, we want to make sure that our food is brought to the proper temperature facilities. So we're not leaving, let's say, a a, a pint of ice cream out and then we'll put it in the freezer after 2 hours. No, that's not safe. That's not safe practice. We can also reject loads if we get signs of pests. So if we see like an animal running through a truck that has just delivered product, we can go to that truck driver and say, we're not approving of this sanitary of your trailer, so we're gonna reject this load and have it sent back to your facility. We just need to make sure that we document these on both their paperwork and our paperwork. So when we're storing items, we want to make sure that we store it in FIFO, which is first in, first out. We need to put label it with a date as well. So some facilities like to put the expiration date on it, and some also put the made by date on it. And it's okay to do both. It's whatever style your organization chooses. And it's also important to know pathogens can grow quickly in food that are in some food that are stored between temperatures of 41 degrees and 135 degrees. That's called the danger zone. So you want to try to eliminate keeping certain foods in that temperature danger zone for as long as possible. So you want to keep them below 41 degrees or 135 degrees. Another trick that we can do is to rotate our food on our shelves. So if we get a bag of lettuce in, we're going to pull our oldest bag of lettuce in front of our newest bag of lettuce. So that when the next person comes through, they'll grab that front bag and we'll know that it's in FIFO order. So after everything's said and done, after we get a rush in the restaurant or we've just completed a shift in production, we're going to need to clean and sanitize the place, because food can become easily contaminated if you don't keep your facility equipment clean. We're going to use some sort of chlorine, iodine, or quartz. These are all common examples of sanitizers. So this is an important note, all surfaces must be cleaned and sanitized, especially surfaces which are in contact with utensils or are used as storage bins and walls. So a good process to follow has 5 simple steps. Number 1, we're going to scrape and remove food bits from the surface. Number 2 is to wash the surface with soap. 3 is to rinse the surface. 4, sanitize the surface. And 5, we're just going to let it air dry after that. And that's how we make sure that we're going to successfully clean our equipment. And you can choose, if you're in a restaurant, to hand wash or use a dishwasher. If you choose to hand wash, a common way is to have a 3-bin system, one with soap and water, another empty, and another with sanitizer. You always want to make sure that your soap and water is kept at 110 degrees Fahrenheit. If you do use a machine washer, You will always want to make sure that that's um, always in working order. So in these circumstances, you want to have a master sanitation list. This is something for your employees to learn and look at when when they need something to do. So we want to always be updating this list if we have to, and yeah. So when I became Servsafe certified, I felt like I added more value to my company. And providing safe food, knowing how to purchase, receive, store food, and then cleaning and sanitizing are all three very important points to stay on top of when in this industry. Knowing the Servsafe steps to take are for you if you're new to the restaurant business, curious about food science, or wanting to further your career more. You can call 800-765-2122 to find out how you can take the whole Servsafe certified management course. I appreciate your time and thank you.